The People Stack, powered by Offrd.co.
Hey everyone, Happy New Year and welcome back to the People Stack. I'm Aarti, and today we're digging into a classic founder tripwire. Hiring before your startup is actually ready for it. Not about hiring the wrong person, but more about hiring at the wrong time, which sneaks up on so many teams. Raj, you've watched early teams up close like so many times now. What usually blows up when startups jump the gun on hiring?
Thanks, Aarti. First of all, a very happy new year to all of you. Excited to be part of the first episode in the new year. Now, to answer your question, this is practically the most quiet but expensive mistake I see, especially with new founders. The big thing is, early hires almost always struggle because the startup itself is kind of a moving target, right? The role sounds neat on paper, but the actual work just keeps shifting. So you get someone on board, and the founder suddenly spends more time aligning people than actually building things. And that's the hidden cost. You don't spot it till it starts adding up.
Why do founders fall into this so often?
I mean, it's understandable. Hiring feels like you're taking action. It's like, hey, I'm being responsible now. Founders are usually stretched too thin, so handing off something looks like a relief. But if you haven't actually done that job yourself even once, you barely know what you're giving away. Like, you can't just outsource figuring stuff out. You cannot outsource clarity.
So discomfort itself is not a hiring signal?
Nah, not even close. Discomfort is just part of it, In early teams, that's the default. The thing to look out for, like really look out for, is shared pain. If it's just one person cracking under pressure, that's stress. If lots of people are running into the same wall again and again, that's when you know there's a bottleneck. Startups mix this up all the time.
Can you give a concrete example of how that thinking plays out in practice?
Like, take our company Offrd, for example. We still don't have an admin person. It's not that admin work doesn't exist. And yeah, I get annoyed sometimes. But the pain isn't holding back our product. It's not slowing down things that matter for customers. Some days it's just plain annoying, but that doesn't mean it's time to hire. Annoyance it's not a hiring signal. Inconvenience is not a hiring signal. That is an important distinction. A real hiring signal is when the same pain shows up for multiple people. When 3 people are tripping over the same thing every week, that is a role. When one person is annoyed, that is just noise. Early startups confuse noise for signals. Hiring early would solve the wrong problem.
So what really goes wrong if companies hire before that pain is obviously shared?
Oh, tons. Roles start blurring. People wind up doing bits of everything and nothing properly. The founder feels awkward about pivoting or switching things up just cause someone's sitting in that chair now. Plus, coordination costs explode faster than the work output grows. And none of this is obvious on day one. It creeps up, seeps into culture, and then you suddenly can't recognize your own team's workflow anymore.
Oof. So you kind of lock in the wrong habits, right?
Exactly. Early hires are like the neural wiring for how your startup operates. Who decides, who fixes stuff. If you hire before you even know what good looks like, it's so dang hard to change those patterns later. You freeze the wrong habits, seriously.
You ever notice how people hire, say, a really tight specialist too early? Like, suddenly a startup wants an admin who only does one thing, or a finance person who only focuses on payroll. It's a recipe for boredom and chaos at the same time.
You nailed it. Early startups just aren't built for narrow specialists. You need folks who can live with messiness, ambiguity, all that. If you need a hyper-specific job description, that's your sign it's probably too early to hire for that task. Save your specialist hires for after you've established rhythms, not before.
So when does the timing actually make sense?
When you start spotting real patterns like Stuff keeps interrupting more than one person week after week, or those same delays start feeling routine, affecting outcomes. That's when the business, not just your mood, demands you add someone. That's why at Offrd, we're big on making work visible, not to track people but to see patterns clearly. Hiring then becomes a response to reality, not a reaction to stress.
But then, can tools like what you're building, offrd.co, actually help founders with this? Or is it all just gut feeling and judgment?
Tools won't replace the thinking. No tool gives you the answer on a plate. But what they do is cut out all the wishful guessing. They help you see if an issue is just an annoying phase or deeper, recurring pattern that's structural. In the end, you really want hiring to follow structure, not just a frazzled mood.
So let's say someone out there is eyeing a hire this month. What should they honestly ask themselves before posting that job?
Okay, here's what's critical. Who else is feeling the pinch? Are you alone or do others echo it? Has the pain been around for a while, not just this week? If you wait 30 days, will something actually break or just feel irritating? And will adding this role make things smoother or just build another layer of coordination? If those answers are even a little blurry, best is to wait, not jump.
That's hard to do though, right? Everything always feels urgent in startups.
Oh yeah, it's brutal. But honestly, patience, that's your secret weapon. Early teams that hold out for a real need, not just for relief, build more resilient cultures. Strong teams hire because the system truly demands it, not just for a quick breather.
So discomfort is not the enemy, it's information. If it isn't shared or repeated, maybe it's just part of your founder journey, not a job ad waiting to happen.
Exactly. At Offrd, we only pull the trigger on hiring when the ouch is obvious and shared. Till then, we actually stay small on purpose, makes learning faster and mistakes less expensive too.
Alright, for those tuning in, if there's a hire you're considering, maybe just sit with that decision a week. See if that pain is truly collective or just temporary founder stress. Let us know what decisions are on your mind. Share your dilemmas. We're always curious. Alright, Raj, thanks for shooting straight as always.
Love this chat, Aarti. Hope folks can use some of these signals before they start adding new faces just for the sake of it.
Cool, we'll wrap here. You've been listening to The People Stack, brought to you by offrd.co. More real talk on smarter hiring and messy teams next time. Raj, take care. See you on the next one.